A big upset in the NCAA tournament as Harvard beats New Mexico. Now they move on to face Arizona. Welcome into the Sporting News Studios. I'm Tom Vandervoort. We are breaking down each and every game of this year's tournament thanks to UPS, the UPS Team Performance Index. And joining me now on the phone, Ryan Fagan from out in Salt Lake City. And Ryan, you saw the upset, so what's Harvard got for Arizona here? They were obviously very disciplined against a very good New Mexico team.
Yeah, Harvard just played a fantastic basketball game. They were very disciplined. They were aggressive. They played like they knew what stage they were on, and they weren't worried about it. You know, there's one thing to know what stage you're on and play a little bit tight. I think that's what we saw in New Mexico to an extent tonight. There's also the element of knowing where you are and rising to the opportunity. That's something that Harvard definitely did. They were, you know, the smarter team, the more polished team, even down the stretch when the whole arena here in Salt Lake City was going crazy. You know, Harvard still worked the ball around. They took smart shots, and they made smart shots. This is a very, very good Harvard basketball team.
Now, Arizona's had a decent year. I'm not sure it's as good as some people expected. What's your take on them right now? They obviously beat Belmont, not as big a deal as Harvard's victory, but where is Arizona right now as a team?
Arizona looked as good today as they've looked in a long time. You know, I think that the Wildcats have a ton of size, and that was the biggest thing against Belmont. I mean, Arizona out-rebounded Belmont 44-18 on the day. And if you're an Arizona fan, you're looking at the fact that Harvard starts one player that's taller than 6'5", and you're thinking, we're going to do the same thing again. I don't think they're going to be able to have as much success, but it's still a big plus in Arizona's column. I mean, they've got so many guys that are going to tower over the Harvard players who are guarding them. New Mexico didn't take advantage of that nearly as much as it should have. I think that Arizona won't make that same mistake.
Now, as I look down at my Team Performance Index numbers, Harvard's offensive efficiency is pretty good. Is that what it comes down to for them? Is it really they have to make a high percentage of their shots, or they're just going to get beat up by a bigger team here?
I think that's a big part of it, and that's what we saw against New Mexico. The freshman point guard, Siani Chambers, has had a fantastic season. He played very well again. You know, I think they did a very good job of identifying holes in the New Mexico defense, and it just so happened that it was on the corners. Harvard hit, I think 4 or 5 shots, 3-pointers from the corner. You know, Laurent Rivard hit a couple of them. He was 5 from 9 from three-point range. Christian Webster was 3 for 5 from three-point range, and they really saw what was available to them, and they exploited it over and over. And I think that's what they're going to have to do again. They're going to have to find the soft spots in Arizona's defense, because physically they don't match up with the Wildcats. But physically they didn't wind up match up with the Lobos either, and they wound up basically dominating a game from start to finish and pulling off the big upset. They
really did control it. All right, we'll see what happens with the boys from the Ivy League and, of course, Arizona. And we'll talk to you later, Ryan. Thanks so much for your time.
Thanks, Tom.